One of the things that I've noticed when it comes to these YouTube videos is that it's so important to be comfortable recording these. So like being in a position where you like to be in, feeling like you're lounging a little bit, like that's a good place to start. Because when it comes to these videos, like we want to feel like we're just talking to a friend, you know? We want to actually create that feeling in the body. And that goes for everything really. Like everything we do in our life. Everything we do, we want the body to be in most comfort doing it. I mean, obviously, if you're an extreme sport, your body is going to be in the position that it's going to be in. But you don't overdo it if you hurt something, right? Like there is a care to the body regardless. But yeah, you can push your body. You know, you can push your body really hard. But the main thing when it comes to using your body, by the way, in this channel, if you're new here, subscribe, hello, welcome. We are talking about human energy. We are diving deep into self-psychology, but in a way that most people may not have realized before, like how easy it is to actually change your life. It is easy when you know how to do it, and when you do it and when you repeat, there is a remedy that we are teaching you on how to basically be more of who you are. It is very close, it is ascension. It is what ascension is. And you can choose what you want to do with that energy. We are not here to dictate. We are here to teach you how your human energy works. Because once you know how your human energy works, there's a lot of things that happens then. Because when you get correct perception, this is what human energy is. Perception equals, I mean, if you have that was not what I was going to say. Perception can be many different things, right? You can perceive someone did something. You can perceive things from the outside, and maybe you're right, maybe they did, right? But then you can get into further into what they did, what things happen on the outside. That's not the purpose of this human experience. The purpose of this human experience is to, first of all, change that nonsense of always looking at the outside. I mean, deal with it to the best of your ability, and then either, you know, restore it or just leave it and go somewhere else. Life is too short and all of that, right? To bicker with things and just continue. And so what we have been through, what we, me, Kenneth, the body have been through is a massive transformation. And that transformation has been an initiation. It was very challenging on the body level because we had lots of misconception about what reality was. And so we went through some challenging lessons. We're very grateful for them, and we have shifted a lot, and we have learned a lot about how this actually works. Because once you correct enough of these things that are, and this is the thing, when beings talk about becoming a better person, some people think that it's from the mind, oh, I want this, and then they manifest the this. That's not where we're coming from. That is an aspect, You need to intend. There is a masculine that sees the overall picture and then sets the direction. You have to set the direction. That's what a goal is. That's important because that's your anchor point. But then as you're moving along your day, this is how you become a master manifester. If you move along your day, you don't go hard on this. You observe what's happening. What does your body know? What does your body want to do? Yes, you need to progress on what needs to be progressed on the soul mission, on what you're passionate about and all of that. But then if that is on the computer, let's say, which we have been a lot on that, and then your work is in the computer and your passion is from the computer and you're posting in front of the computer and everything is in front of the computer, you can get into imbalances because that's too much computer for a human body. It makes complete logical sense because it is what we're here for is to harmonize. We're not here to go hard either or. We're not here to go hard on the computer and we're not here to go hard on the relaxation and laziness either. Like there are these two opposite ends, and that's usually body, laziness, and or overly knower, just pushing too much and stressing and things like that. Those are usually the two opposite ends in most people's internal complex. And you can probably notice within yourself those two aspects. Which one is stronger? Is it the one that wants to take it easy? Is it the one that's pushing? What is that dynamic inside of you? That's really the teaching. And as you become aware of where you're at, that is the most important. Most people are not honest with themselves about what's what. And they're not even understanding that there is something to even do anything about. And that's usually what we call people that are in the dualistic perspective. That just means that they have a perspective of world view that is dualistic in nature. That is either, it's this push and pull. They have habits of behavior that's push and pull, pretty much. They're projecting a lot of their power or what someone else should do or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but that is people in the dualistic perspective. We were in the dualistic perspective, or we were not really, but we were operating as if we were, subjugating ourselves to things like anyone, and that's energy. That is what's happening, and that's what we have to be so clear about. What we are pretending and what we're actually doing with the body. That's where many beings are going off. They say they're going to change, but then January comes and then February comes and you maybe started and then you went second time, third time, and then it was just lost. Why? Because of this balance between what we call the knower and the feeler. And most beings have an imbalance there. And this imbalance, get a bit distracted with this beeping. This is a good practice of focus, really. And so it is a matter of balancing these two. And but you have to be aware and you have to be honest with yourself. Otherwise, you might as well not even do it. You know, you might as well just live your life in the dualistic perspective and just, you know, just be okay being okay the way you are, type of thing, you know? Many beings are fine there. But there are many beings that are trying to get out of it with creating their art or making it into something. They have a passion that they want to share. For those beings, this is absolutely a must. You must change your perspective about what it is that you're seeing. And knowing how to work and see the reality of energy is key then. Because then you can see what your body needs, and you can see based on who is showing up and what sort of things are showing up and what feelings that is eliciting, which is matching what's showing up here on the outside, right? That's how this mirror is related. If you're projecting outside, that's what you're gonna get. If you're projecting outside, that's the mirror you're gonna get, which is outside mirror. Outside people are going to show you what you are. And that's one way to learn. That is a dualistic way, and you see the projecting, but you can still be aware and you can see what you're doing and you can recognize when you're doing it. That takes a little bit of practice, takes a little bit of immersion into this study, and watch more of these videos to really get it. Because there is a frequency adjustment that does happen where a consciousness that only sees the dualistic perspective then gets upgraded. It's sort of like the energetic shifts are preparation for the new operating system. But now we have been through a lot of energetic shifts, and many of you are ready for the comprehension, the knowledge of how to ascend in frequency, because this is why we're here. We are not here, despite what many people think, to go and get a woman or a man and marry and have lots of babies. Some people, that is their dharma. That's okay. It's all good. Or their karma, maybe. It could be either way. There is no right or wrong. However, the soul, what the soul wants is to be fully embodied in the human. And do you know who the soul is? That's you, my dear. You are the soul. You, the consciousness that's listening and that's interpreting. That's who you are. There's a distinction between that and your feelings. Your feelings and the nudges and the habitual pressure on your body. That habitual pressure on your body is just habits. It's because smokers, they just, you know, it's like, how can you stop this when you've done it for like 20, 50, 80 years, you know? And then stop for a little bit, and then, I mean, at least you can try and change the habit to a healthier habit, so that the habitual mechanisms of the body to always do this, maybe there is a toothpick that can replace that, that's something to do, and then you can sort of attune and adjust the behavior to something else. That's an easy way to sort of channel that energy and transform it. That's how you do alchemy. But you do it with everything. With how you think, with thoughts that are coming into your mind. Entities, thoughts, and all of that, they are only habits of incorrect viewpoints of what you think you're seeing. That's all what that is. When you truly comprehend that, life becomes really simple. Life becomes really beautiful. Because life is intrinsically simple. It's just that beings have been mistrained believing in, Santa Claus when there is none, believing in fake stuff. Oh, but it's fun. It's still not reality, and that's how people just get familiar and okay with fantasy, not even reality. Everyone knows that Santa Claus is not real, but they're still doing it, type of thing, That's just repeating old shoes. We're not really here for that. The soul is not really here for that. The soul is bored with that. Let's just be honest. And if you are truly honest with yourself and still connected to your soul, you will agree. Unless you have a very healthy family and you are sort of transforming it in your own surroundings, and you're making it more about the connection between people. If you have a good connection, most people don't have a good connection. They have some sort of energetic disturbance or dominance play in there, usually, unless they practice the holistic perspective, which is very honest. It's speaking directly what's happening and taking responsibility for your own perceptions and your own things that come up in your field. Not make that about someone else. Whatever shows up, look at it. Why does someone keep saying that about me? But you have to be honest with your feelings. Otherwise, it can be anything. Because the mind can just create anything, any scenario, and it will make it fit with the narrative. It will twist and change. Oh, it's probably because of this and because of that and because of this and because of that. But it's only in connection with the body that you truly get to be online. And when you are online, creativity increases, health increases. Creativity is actually health. Creativity is a manifested proof and evidence of alignment of the masculine and the feminine, the knower and the feeler. It is actually proof of that. And then, when you have that in balance, what's there to do? Create. But it's a birth thing. It's not always a mind thing, but sometimes you do get it like an idea, but it feels different. It's not just a normal idea. It's like an idea filled with energy or something else that is only sensible through the body. Because if it's just a thought, it's irrelevant, really. It's not really that important. All these thoughts. Not really. In truth, in the alignment truth of you to your creator, your link to God, really. You can only connect to God through this. It's never been a religion. That's never been the truth. That was twisted with. Never mind why. Never mind the stories. Don't get lost in that. You can get lost in that too. Oh yeah, they did that, or they said that, or blah 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 blah. Right? Oh, we feel like we just came back online. Coming here, we really feel like we came back online. Even though we're sitting here channeling and it's a lot of noise around, but we feel so aligned because we are following our dharma. We're following what we're meant to do because we have integrated, and we are using the outside also, but we are for the most part maneuvering the inside by transmuting energy. And that is what these are. These are called gaia sessions. They are transformation of energy, correcting. Gaia stands for human energy internal alignment sessions. They are corrections of perception of human energy back into alignment with what we call the holistic perspective. When you have corrected the mind back in alignment with the holistic perspective, it's a different thought system. We know that there's a lot of alarm bells when people hear this, because it seems like it's brainwashing. And you have been brainwashed already. That's what training is. Training is brainwashing you to a certain belief structure. That's what training is. And they will show you why it makes sense, even though certain things don't really make sense. So ask a lot of questions. Make sense of it. Make sense of this reality. Why do you think you feel stupid asking questions? It's because there are energies at play within the body and influences that don't want you to ask questions and figure it out, because that means the end of those habits, which are end of entities, which are end of energies and people that would benefit from it, basically. Because they are losing a source of fuel for them. That's what codependency is. And we had to untangle from that. And that took a few cycles of meeting a few more, and then this, just anchor in the habitual change. That, no thank you. I don't want that game anymore. We are done with that dualistic game. We're seeing it so clearly. So the only game that we're interested in is this energy game, this creativity game, this creation with the divine. That's the only thing that makes sense now for us. And that's what we are devoting our time and energy to. That's what it's about. To follow your inner calling. Because it's never usually just one thing. It's usually a conglomeration of a lot of different things. When you truly get to align with every single thing of you. And if you don't know so much, that's what learning is for. That's okay. There's no point pretending that you're smarter than you actually are. There's no point, because you're just fooling yourself. So be honest with where you're at. That is the key. The first key. Be honest with where you're at. The first key of human energy. Be honest with where you're at. We can't emphasize this enough, because this honesty is something that people have, like white lies and stuff. Like, it doesn't matter if it deviates in the wrong direction. A white lie multiplied over, because the habitual will come around and it will give you another chance to do that white lie, and then eventually you are deviated from your true north because you were okay with this white lie stuff. It's just these small viruses that needs to just be plucked. And that is not something that you just fantasize about. It's just every time it comes up, you have another practice. Or you have a practice to begin with. That's why it's so important to, like, people have spiritual practices. we don't follow a religion. We are following the truth of human energy. We're following resonance. We're following Gaia. We're following them. We're following our heart's calling. We're following this frequency of us. That's because our body is the temple. That's not just sitting and meditating, but that is the start of that. It's you focusing in on you. But if that's all you do, if that's the only time you focus on you is when you meditate, and then when you go out about your day, you focus on everyone else and you please everyone else and you try to like mitigate you. That's sort of fire extinguisher type of mentality here. You're here to really just yeah, this one is almost a little bit off. It's like this. I feel that was a good share. I know that we didn't completely, but these conversations are continuous. And what you will experience as you continue with us, you will experience that a lot of these things that we talk about will start to click into place, almost by magic. And this is how Gaia works. Because we're working with Gaia, we're working with our feeling, our inspiration, our nudges of what to say, when to say it, when to stop, when to change, and we're following that. And sometimes that is not always straight. Sometimes it's like straight there and then stop, and then this story over here, then stop, and then back here a little bit. Because think about it, to fully awaken your light, which is the whole purpose of this, to embody more light, yeah, so it happened just like now. And so think about, you have this big sort of landscape of things to actually get to land that light. You know, there are a lot of moving pieces for that to happen. It's not just one belief. It's not just one perception. It's a lot of small ones that eventually, when you have enough of them, these big shifts happen. And then you continue. It's small patchwork continuously. And you have to comprehend the truth of your body for that. The body is the temple, which means the body is to be listened to, not to subjugate and do some kind of power play, which has been very convoluted in between relationships. So much power dynamics, which all that it does is to show people where they're at. For the people that can see, this is evident where people are at. It's evident that some people are playing power play. So easy to see. And who has the pants in the relationship type of thing. You can literally see it in the energy. You can feel it, and sometimes if they've been doing it for a while, you can see it on their facial expressions and their entire system. That's what repeated behavior does. And so the main thing to get good at that we recommend is to be good at, first of all, being honest. That was the first key, right? And then recognizing the truth, recognizing what we're actually talking about, recognizing and seeing where these aspects are within you. Where are these aspects within you? Are they where are the expressions that are more bodily placed? You know, start to pay attention to that. And we can give you some hints. Yoga, classic body focus. Going to the beach, classic body focus. Going for a walk, body focus. Going for a bicycle, body focus. Going just out to check out people, body focus. Going out partying, body focus. You know? And then we have other things that are more, that should be soul driven. If you're connected to that and if you're aware that you are the soul, that's a recognition that many need to come to, not just intellectually, because that can be, it's an embodied thing. It's like peeling away layers through feeling more, feeling uncomfortable things, going towards something that's uncomfortable, and being okay if people laugh at you or whatever. Like, those things are just more things to clear, more things to release and to see the truth. So that's what we wanted to share for this one. If you want to dive deeper, there's links in the description or in the bio. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again in the next one. Take care. Ciao.